Hi and welcome. This is Over the Pond Productions and I am Gyps. Thank you for watching the video. But today what I'm going to do is show you how to create the desktop art, the art for YouTube. This is a very tedious task. It's kind of frustrating because YouTube does kind of present itself on different structures like TVs, like Xbox or PlayStation, computer desktops, tablets. There's a lot of different aspects that we have to really consider. So what you need to do is have a template like I have here on the screen. I'm going to kind of go through some of the steps really quick and how to do this, and then I'm going to show you the result afterwards. I'm going to upload it and then show you, because you guys probably know how to already do that, but I'm just going to show you how to create it. So let's get started. Like I said, I do have a template here that I've worked with, and I've kind of highlighted some areas. One of the things that I have done is I have a blank layer right here, and this is the layer where you start to work on. Okay, everything else is the underneath stuff where it's marking, so you can kind of see where things are going and where things are going to be. You're going to work with this entire area. Okay, don't just work within the red and the pink. You need to work with the entire area, because otherwise it's not going to look right. Okay, so I'll show you what to do. And like I said, I started out with a blank. I put a blank one there in the template already. I didn't have to, but I did it to make it easier for you. How I usually start, and the easiest, is I make a background. So I'll start with that. I'm going to use a rectangle, and I'm just going to make a rectangle for the entire space. You don't have to do this, but it just makes it easier for what I want to do. Alright, so that's now what I'm going to do, is then I'm going to give it a gradient background. And I'm actually creating it for A. Steven. He is AC and Rocks and Rants and Raisins, so that's what I'm creating it for. So that's what I'm doing. I'm also going to change the angle on it, because I want it to be a little different here. I want it to, wrong way. That would look cool, but I know that's not what I wanted. So I'm going to change the angle of it. You could also use the adjusters to kind of adjust this. I didn't get to introduce myself last time. I've been doing graphic design for about 10 years now, and I'm currently going to school for graphic design, so I can kind of hone in some of my skills and stuff like that. I'm trying to get rid of some of this white. I don't want it as white down here, just because I don't like it. I'm just trying to darken it up just a little bit, kind of bring that down. So I'm just kind of moving the color out. I can actually, if I wanted to, I could actually just delete that if I wanted, but I don't want to delete it. I just want that little bit of color. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so there, I'm done with that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with the layer, I'm going to put a little bit of a border on it. And before I do that, I actually have to do this and then do that. So it does that, because otherwise it'll be grayed out. So it knows that I'm working on this layer particularly. And I'm going to do a glow. So that's one thing, is I always want to put it to normal. And I'm going to just kind of take it, and I want to take this color and change it. I want to put like a kind of, I always match my hues and things like that, because it just makes it a lot nicer looking. It's not off. Like, see, you can see the bottom where I'm kind of putting a layer on it. And just normal. That's, oh, I don't want an overlay. I want an inner glow. It's very slight, but it's there. Just gonna make it a little bit bigger, so it kind of, there, it's coming along, just really slow. Like I said, I got to pick up that color and kind of change it. So there we go. And I'm just putting a little slight border on there, just so you can kind of see it. You can see around the edges now. The other thing you can do is you can change the contour, and you can kind of change it. You can put a dual line. You can kind of play with it and see which one you like best. You know, there's just different things that you can go on, and it kind of just gives you a good effect. That'll kind of reverse it, and just different. I just like to put it because it kind of gives it some definition. So I kind of like to do it for the definition part of it. So I'm just going to stop there. The other thing I noticed is my template, the layer, needs to be lowered because I didn't make the box big enough. It's not a big deal, but there. That's now it's more centered. And then I'm going to move it over. just slightly, just so I make sure it's on the edge. Okay, so there we have that. So now I'm going to do, I always do everything in layers, especially with Photoshop, because I like, in case I want to change it, it's easier. So I'm going to do that. It's kind of like the same way I did my Facebook one. And so I already have this particular brush picked out. It's kind of a grungy brush. And if you kind of, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of it and put it white instead of black. And when I did this the other day, it was just, I tried to do this a little while ago and it just, my computer crashed, so I'm redoing the video. So hopefully this one will turn out a little bit better. Just kind of make that, there we go. That's what I'm trying to do. For some reason that brush just didn't want to kick in for me. The other thing is I want to kind of spin this brush around. And just because I've been doing this for a long time doesn't mean that I don't have problems when I create stuff. Every designer has issues. So don't feel like, oh my god, I'm new and I'm doing this and it's turning out like crap. That's not the case. Everybody has problems like I just did. You don't have to fill that in. And I kind of like that little space, so I'm going to actually go back and undo that. It kind of gives it a kind of texture. It kind of gives it an interesting look. But there's a good background. It's kind of like a rocky type of thing. It's so kind of different. I'm trying to do something different. I have something up there right now that he just cannot stand. So I'm trying to fix that. I'm going to do another layer. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a text layer. But since I have this done and you can't see the template in the background, I'm actually going to turn these two layers off. Okay, still stay on this layer and work in this area on top of it. So when we do, we know exactly what we're working with and we're not having any issues and going past. When you do text, anything that you want to be legible so that the viewer can see it on the desktop, or if you, or you know, you can monitor your screen or your TV consoles, Xbox, PlayStation, and anything like that, you have to have it in this area. So that's why I made sure when I did it, I marked it so you guys could see just in the pink. Just go in the pink, don't go anywhere else. Otherwise your text is going to be way up on top and it's going to be cut off and you're going to be really, really frustrated. And actually I'm going to do this and I'm going to change it. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to do this. And I think I want to try to see if I can get this just a little bit bigger. Don't know if it'll fit in that box, but we'll see. If I can. Nope, see it cut it off, so it's too big. Let's see if I can get it. 105, still too big. 100. Let's see if I can do 102. 103. Nope, see, 103 will only fit in that box, and that's where I want it to stay, because I don't, like I said, we need to stay within that pink. So then what I'm going to do, now that I have that, I'm not going to, obviously I'm not going to look pink, the black, it'll show up. You see, if that's just the text layer that I did, you could do that, that would look kind of cool, but with the color, it kind of really, really stands out. But what I'm going to do is actually going to, that's what I wanted. I have some styles, pre-made styles, and I'm going to use that. And I'm going to see if I can get something that kind of stands out with this. Like that will probably really, really stand out with this. And I'm just trying to match it up. And that looks pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the layer and I'm just going to add a little bit of definition to that. I'm going to add a stroke to it. Just so I can get a definition and kind of get definition around that and put a drop shadow on it. Add a drop shadow. It's already got a drop shadow, but I wanted to kind of do that. But the stroke, I want to put on there so it kind of like defines that text, so it's able to see what you could, like what I could do. And one thing I could do is do the opposite. Instead of black, do white, and that'll really make it stand out. So it won't be like blending in, because it is a dark background and you want to make sure that, you know, it's legible. And if I wanted to, I could actually do, there's a lot of effects already with this particular style that I chose, but I could do like this, an outer glow, and the outer glow can kind of, I want to do, make sure it's on normal and kind of spread it out, and it'll kind of put a glow behind it just to give it a little bit more definition. I may not want so much You can either do the slider or you can do numbers. Sometimes if you want a little bit more control, like that, do it like that. And then I'm actually going to just turn this layer off so I can see the background. So I want to add another layer so I can use a different layer of text because I want to use that. And what I'm actually going to do, because I do want the Ace Stephen Rocks to be the top, I'm going to switch it and take this one and put it underneath it. So this layer here that I'm working on is the underneath that, just for parity's sake. Yeah, I know. Type tool is locked. It's not locked. Just being stubborn. Oh, it created something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I deleted my layer. Oh my god. Alright. Oh, that's why, because this layer here should be here. And I think that's what I was doing. I didn't realize that that was it. That's why it's really, really good to label your layers for something like that not to happen. It's not a big deal. I had to undelete it, so it's no big deal. And just add this. It'll add a layer for me. I just like to add layers by myself. I'm just kind of stubborn that way. Alright, and I'm going to pick another text. I don't want that text. Just something kind of bold. I don't want it too funky fonts because it won't match. I want to be able to, you know. But I will put the same style behind it so it matches. I don't want it to be like totally crazy, but I will enlarge this just a little bit because it's a little too small. And I'm going to add this for it. And I'm just going to take this and we're just going to enlarge it. Take the text. I'm going to take this texture because I can't, for some reason, it's just too small. Somehow I went to a different layer and that's why. I do apologize. I had an interruption and then I got confused in what I was doing. But we'll get back to it right here. It keeps popping me to somewhere else, and I don't understand why. It's like keeps popping me to there. Like I said, even though that I've been doing this a while, sometimes things happen, and you don't understand why. And you just kind of got to deal with it. I'm going to pull this down just a little bit. And I'm going to actually, then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to actually group these two, make them a group. And then I'm going to center them so they're both centered. Center them on the page so they're nice and even. I'm going to take this one and kind of move it. See, they're grouped. Because they're collected together, they're still in a group. I'm going to redo that again because I wanted that a little bit closer. And then I'm going to recenter it in because I kind of moved it around. And I'm going to kind of move this just a little bit down because I know for some reason YouTube likes to pop things up real high. So I want to just compensate for that when I do it. And there's just really, really simple. I mean, I could do a lot more, but this is a really, really simple YouTube background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this. I'm going to get it uploaded to YouTube, log into his account, and then I'll show you the result. The other thing that I forgot is what you need to do is you need to export it for web. So I'm going to export it as whichever is smaller. It has to be, when you export it, you have to under 2 meg. So if you do it any bigger than that, see like this one, so then you have to change it to a JPEG and that'll be smaller. Otherwise it'll reject it. So there, it shrunk it down. So now I'm going to export it and I'm going to save it and then I'm going to upload it and show you guys the results on the YouTube page. And just give me a second. I'm going to save that. I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm back and what I'm going to do is I already uploaded it to Ace's channel. I had to log in and do that, and for some reason I use Firefox and it doesn't like it, so I actually have to put it and I have to go and use Chrome, so I have to go do that when I do it. And here is his page. I'm logged into my account. Here's his page. If you notice, you see how it kind of look. You can kind of see the border and stuff like that, but it all works. If you were to look at it from a TV, you would see the bigger screen like I had. The other thing I did is I didn't show you guys is I tried to do a ping and a JPEG, and the only reason, for some reason, YouTube is very, very finicky, so you need to make sure that you're taking care of that kind of stuff. The other thing is this will be what it'll look like. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm actually going to put a link at the bottom of the video for this template, so if you guys want to use it, it's probably the best and easiest way. You can create whatever you want, but just remember, this area right here where this name is the only thing on the desktop that's going to be seen. So if this is where you want to concentrate, make sure you follow. And let me show you. I just want to just reiterate just really quick. I flattened it so you can see it. When you want to do this, you want to make sure that you're doing it in just the desktop, this area, and make sure you keep your text in this pink box that I created, okay? Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please leave your comments and your concerns, your questions, whatnot, down below underneath. The other thing is, if you want me to create one for you, please let me know. I'll do a little bit more fancy if you want. I was just trying to do this quick and dirty so I can actually give you guys an idea. But yeah, thank you for watching. Remember, I'm Gyps, and you can get me on Skype, Gyps Westhaven, or leave comments on the YouTube page. Thank you for watching.